Hello, this is Annie from Vintage Lace Journal, and today I'm going to show you the process I use to make these index cards with just a couple of things that you need. And I think the results on these are absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to actually use these as pockets inside one of my journals. So what we need for today, excuse me, is I'm using 3 index cards. Obviously you can use as many as you like, just because I'm going to show you the different colour processes of the way that I do it. So 3 index cards. I've got some distress ink and these whisper inks. Obviously inks you can use is up to you, it's absolutely fine. I need an acrylic block, some water spray or some form of water you can use. Then I've got a black ink pad. And then I'm using these new stamps. These are by Creative Expressions and designed by Sam Poole. These are absolutely fantastic, and I think they're on special offer at the moment if you go on to one of the craft channels, Hobbycraft. So I'm going to be using those on my projects as well. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, one more thing you need, if you've got it, is a heat tool to dry it with quicker. If not, you can just let it dry naturally. And I just use some pens. These are aqua markers, but again, whichever pens you have. So let's get started on our first one. So the first thing you need to do is think about what colours you're going to have on here. So I chose 2 colours. The first one I'm going to do is a brown distress ink with the green distress ink. So take your acrylic block, and what you need to do is just press down your acrylic block to transfer some of the colour ink onto there. Okay, so as you can see there, it's just transferred some of that ink on. Okay, then with your spray bottle you're going to just spritz the ink. As you can see, just spritz that. It's made it kind of looser, and then all you do is you take your card, your index card, and just place it down onto the ink. Just keep checking where you've got it, placing it down until most of that ink has gone. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to just quickly dry off that, and I'm going to use my heat gun just to quickly dry the top of that. There we go. So that's mostly dried, and it gives it a lovely kind of splat colour on there. So the next thing I'm going to do is the same process. This I'm going to go with my green distress ink. So pressing down onto the pad just to release some of that ink. Then again spritzing with some water. Now what I'm aiming to do this time is to get those little parts that haven't got the colour brown on as much. So I'll start with that corner there. Just keep checking where you need the ink. And just keep pressing down and dabbing into the area there. You can have some white parts as well. It doesn't matter if there's any white. Just need a bit up the top. There you go, I'm happy with that. So just take off the excess, and again, I'm just going to dry this with my heat tool. Now, because this is distress ink, you can actually then spray this with water. And then get your tissue just to dab some of that off. And you can see it leaves that kind of wet look there. Just going to quickly dry that again now. Okay, so that's the basis of that done. So if I bring in my other one here, you can see that's how I achieved that look there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of my pens. So this is just an aqua marker, like I said, and this is ash brunette, just a brown. And all I did was just to go around the edge with a line to create a border around the side, and then I decided to actually do it again and just go round to create a thicker border, and sometimes where you want the pen to go. Okay, so now the basis of the card is done, I'm going to bring in my, so obviously this is now clean, my acrylic block, and my stamps. So I'm going to choose this one this time. So pop it on your acrylic block, whichever stamps you're using. I always like to take my ink to my stamp. If it's a large one, if it's a smaller one, I do it the other way around. So give it lots and lots of ink and then bring it onto your paper. Give that a real good push. And there we go. Beautiful image there. So I'm just going to remove that from my block. And on here there's some lovely sentiments as well. Some lovely little quotes. I'm going to pop that into this gap on the other side. I think I'm going to do that at the top. Again, really pushing down with your stamps to make sure it takes. So there is a garden in every childhood, an enchanted place where colours are brighter, the air softer, and the morning more fragrant than ever again, by Elizabeth Lawrence. Lovely quote. So as you can see, I've got this gap down here. So I'm going to use this stamp. It's a smaller little sentiment. And then I'm going to come in to mix this set up with one of these plants just to fill that little gap in there. So I'm just going to think about where I need. I can have that to about there. So I don't need to ink all of the stamp, just the top part. There we go. One of the ones down the bottom says specimen number. And there are these cute little numbers to go with that as well. So I'm just going to pop that in there. And I'm just going to take the number again, pop that to the side. There we go. So that's most of my background done. So I'm going to move on to my next card. I'm going to put these stamps back in the right place before I lose them. So, bring in my next card. Now this time I'm going to go with a purple theme in with the brown. Excuse me, I've got a really bad cough today. Too much talking, I think. Okay, so this time I'm going to go again in with the brown. Lay lots of colour down. Give it a quick spritz. And then again, just dabbing the card into it. And it depends which colour you want more prominent. If you wanted more purple, you'd go in with that first. Happy with that. Give that quick dry. And then repeat again with the purple. So colour first. Quick spritz, as you can see, that makes it quite watery. And then again, think about the areas that you want the purple to be in. This is quite a dark purple, but I think the contrast in colours is quite striking. There we go. And again, just give that a blast. And there we have our background. If you wanted to do a third colour, you could always do a third colour as well, but I quite like the way that looks as it is. So the next thing I do is to go in with, this time I've got deep violet. So again, it's just a pen to create that border around the edge. Then you could do different borders. You could do a zigzag border, whatever takes your fancy. And again, go over again, just to create an edge border. Okay, so this time I'm ready to stamp again. I'm going to go on with this lovely big stamp there. Back in with my black ink. And again, when you're doing your stamps, give it a really good covering, really make sure all the details are covered in ink. I'm going to go over to this side this time. Again, push down, making sure all areas of that stamp are fully stamped. There we go. And then again, if we've got the flowers in here, I'm going to bring some of those flowers in again. And just pop one on the other side here. Oop. There we go. And I haven't got much room for sentiment this time. I'm going to choose, I don't think what this one says. Did I use it one before? Find me where the wildflowers are. I'm going to use this one. There is poetry among the wildflowers. There we go. And I'm just going to pop a couple of those numbers to fill the gaps. I quite like that. I'm quite happy with that one. And the last one I'm going to do is blue and brown. So again, I'm going to come with my brown first. Spritz the brown. As you can see, these are so quick and easy to make, but really effective. And they just make great little journaling cards, journal spots, pockets. You could even glue the top and bottom have as belly bands. You could even put them on the front of cards once you know this technique. If you've got some different type paper, just plain paper, and different stamps, they make some really good backgrounds for cards. So just quickly blast that dry. There we go. So it's our first layer. And then this time I'm going to come in with a darker blue. So same process, a quick spritz. There we go. It's still got a bit of white on there, so I'm just going to go over that again. It's quite an old ink, so it's not very juicy anymore. There we go. Much better. Okay, quick blast. There we go. Because this is a blue, I'm going to come in with a dark blue marker. Again, whoops, just go round the edge. To create that border effect. That's what I love about this kind of grungy arty journals. It doesn't have to be neat. I'm not the neatest of crafters. There we go. I'll have that as my top. This is one of my favourite ones. This is a mushroom. Absolutely love this design. Coming back in with my black ink. So the text does slightly go off at the top and the bottom, but it really doesn't matter. And what I'm going to do, which I did before, is I'm just going to pick up this part of the text here. And just pop that in. Just to break up that corner edge there. Yep, happy with that. Go in with sentiment from the stamps. There we go. Nature is painting for us, day after day, pictures of infinite beauty, by John Ruskin. And again, it's going to pop in a couple of those little numbers, just to break up the parts that haven't got anything in them. There we go. So there we have it. Nice and simple, nice and quick. So we have our first one, which is with the green and the brown. Then I had the second one with the purple and the brown. And then finally the blue and the brown. So super quick, super easy. Obviously try this with your own stamps. And yeah, good luck. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much. I have actually just reached today over 100 subscribers, so I'm super happy that my videos are bringing you some inspiration and some happiness as well. So thank you all so much for watching and subscribing if you've subscribed. See you again soon. Bye.